In StructureWorks 2011, we've created this new functionality called Copy Production Assembly. What Copy Production Assembly will do for you is it'll take an existing production assembly and drawing from an old job and be able to bring it into your new job. As you can see here, I have a standard type job created, and you can see a whole bunch of standard products in here, and these are simplified products that have just the basic steel and everything in them. You'll be able to see the drawings associated with all these. And what I can do is when I create a new project, I'm just going to create a new project and leave all this, and we'll give it 6 floors. Okay. Once this new project is created, we can go ahead and copy the production assemblies into this project prior to inserting any products. So that's all set. So now I can go to this new area called Production Assembly Manager. And what this Production Assembly Manager will allow me to do is, if I look at job and I'll choose the standard job, I can see all the different production assemblies that are in this project. Okay, and I can also see if something has a drawing associated with it. So here you can see there's a drawing right here associated with this product here. So what I'll do is go ahead and bring in the column and the beam. Okay, and we can see that there's a drawing for the column, the drawing for the beam. All this information are the templates that are inside of that production assembly, and these are the embeds and the rebar and the mesh. So this gives you a nice window into what's actually in that production assembly. Okay, so now I can go choose a couple options here. Choose Start, choose the job I want this to go into. So this is the job I just created. Right, and I have an option to break external references or not. I'm going to not break these external references and go ahead and say OK. Okay, and what this is doing is this is copying all the embeds, all the components and whatnot for that production assembly into this new job, so that we can have all that stuff ready for us to go right when we start our job. Okay, see DB is updated, production assembly instance successfully, so everything succeeded. So if I close this, I go into the job, open, and choose this structure. Okay, here's our new structure. Now, when I go into my library, for my job, you can see I have a beam and a column already in there. I have a number of plates and single rebar and whatnot. So my library is already starting to fill up with information and components. So I can very easily now come in here and browse in my job, grab my column, insert my column. You can see there's some options here for what type of column I might want, so a C11 or a C12. And also there's selections that are already starting to be made. So you can see that this was the last selection on the standard project that we had there. So I can just start making a couple little changes. So I'm going to change my center of my column to over here, and then my top of column I'm going to set it here. Everything else looks good. I can preview that. Alright, so my alignment needs to be flipped, and I will flip this one right here. Hit apply. Okay, everything looks good. Say OK. Okay, now I have a column in here, and you'll see there's some stuff sticking up here, which is okay. I have no problem with that. So I'm going to go to Browse, and I'm going to grab my beam. Say OK. And grab the standard number there. And you can see I already have some selections made. Just have to make 1 or 2 more selections, so I'll go ahead and click this line for that, and that face is already selected, so that's good. So that's pretty quick there. Preview that. Everything looks good there. Go ahead and apply that. Alright, so that's good. Now you can see that we have a beam and a column. Now what we'll need to do is we'll need to connect these up together so our connections are made, but that's not too bad. So let's take a look at our production assemblies. So now I have the ability to create 2 production assemblies. So if I go into my shear wall, IT beam shear wall, I can do create production assembly. So now I have 1 production assembly ready. If I go into this, I very simply, if my end conditions are going to be the same, all I need to do is add a couple bars to this. So I can go into this cage, go into my pattern, and just start increasing it until it gets to where I need it to be. Rebuild that, save it, take a look at my StructureWorks tree. Alright, so I've got all this stuff already in my StructureWorks tree. Excellent. Save that, and now you can go into my drawing manager, and you can see that I have a piece drawing already here for my beam. It's available for me to open up. Completely drawn already. All I need to do is just fix a couple little things, change a couple annotations for bar quantities, for spaces, and this thing's ready to go that quickly. So even if you have a small change on what types of bar you have inside of here, or the size rebar or whatnot, that can be really quickly changed on the fly, and you still have all of this whole detail right here is already complete. Maybe you have to change a note or 2 in here, but you're not recreating this detail. These section views are rather time consuming and take a lot of time, so we're able to reduce that amount of time by having this standard beam pretty much already to go. So that is copy production assemblies in StructureWorks 2011.